The smell of sawdust and popcorn, the clang of the calliope somewhere off in the distance. You hear a strong man grunt through a lift for the crowd. And under a striped tent, a woman covered head to toe in tattoos. She holds out her arm for you to see. This is a meeting place of two American obsessions, the traveling circus and the tattoo shop. In this world, performers doubled as living canvases, and tattooists became part of the attraction. And here, one little word, just one, took root. Flash. A word that would shape how tattoos are displayed, how they're sold, and how they're chosen for more than a century. Today, we're stepping into the Midway, past the free show banners and painted wagons, into the history of ink under the Bigtop. Flash is the ready-made menu of tattooing, pre-drawn designs, painted bold and bright, displayed for quick selection. If you've ever walked into a tattoo shop and seen rows of frame designs or binder pages on the counter, you've seen Flash in action. Just look behind me. The earliest American flash sheets we know of date back to the 1800s. Lou Alberts, a sign painter turned tattooist, was one of the first to produce sheets commercially. His work was high contrast, portable, and tailored to appeal to sailors, laborers, and carnival goers alike. Tattoo Lou knew what he was doing. In a traveling show, Flash was your storefront. Artists pinned it to the tent walls, they strung it between posts or mounted it on portable boards so it could be seen from the Midway. Many coated their sheets in varnish or kept them behind glass to survive road dust, rain, and constant handling from the public. In late 19th century carnival talk, Flash meant something quick and eye-catching. It was a display designed to stop you in your tracks. Tattooists working the circus circuit borrowed the term because their designs had to work the same way. In a Midway full of noise and color, you might only have a second as someone walked past. Boom, your designs needed to read instantly. A bright anchor, a fierce tiger, a sailor's sweetheart. Just enough to make them step inside. In the early 1900s, Flash appeared in tattooist correspondence and in supply catalogs from New York and Philadelphia machine makers. Some traveling artists even kept their Flash rolled up in oilcloth until a customer paid, then unrolled it just for the sale, keeping the sheets clean and shielding them from copycats. Tattooists on the road. A traveling show was like a self-contained city. You had ticket sellers, you had animal handlers, you had candy butchers, and sideshow acts. And very often, a tattooist. Some worked exclusively for the circus, tattooing performers and staff. Others were independent contractors, paying a cut of their earnings for the booth space. The tattoo setup might be a small tent, a curtain wagon, or a folding table and stool. Power for the machines came from portable generators or a tap into the main show's lighting. Flashboards faced the crowd, often alongside large painted banners of tattooed performers. This cross-promotion worked. The banner drew you in to see the living artwork, and Flash invited you to become one yourself. Some notable figures in tattoo and circus history are: Maud Wagner was an aerialist and contortionist before she became America's first known female tattooist. Maud met Gus Wagner at the 1904 Louisiana Purchase Exposition. She traded a date for a tattooing lesson, and she never looked back. She worked entirely by hand, even as machines took over, and carried her tools and Flash from one carnival circuit to the next. Her husband was Gus Wagner, the tattooed globetrotter. He claimed to have learned tattooing at sea in the Pacific. By his own count, he was 85% covered in tattoos, mostly done by himself. His Flash reflected his travels: ships, palm trees, exotic animals, imagery perfect for carnival tattooing. Artoria Gibbons. She was a famous tattooed lady, covered from neck to ankles in elaborate designs inspired by Renaissance art. She and her husband Charles Gibbons worked for Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, and they later appeared at the Pike in Long Beach, a waterfront amusement zone where tattoo shops thrived alongside rides and games. Another towering figure of circus tattoo culture was Betty Broadbent. She became one of the most photographed tattooed women of the early 20th century, appearing at fairs, at carnivals, and even on television as tattooing moved into mainstream awareness. Broadbent wasn't just a performer. She was a cultural ambassador for tattooing at a time when it was still viewed as shocking. And in 1981, she was honored as the very first inductee into the National Tattoo Association's Hall of Fame. That recognition cemented her legacy as more than just a sideshow attraction. She was a pioneer whose name belongs in any serious history of American tattooing. Cap Coleman started as a tattooed attraction before opening his shop in Norfolk, Virginia. His flash set the template for American traditional. Bold outlines, simple shading, strong color. The same traits that made designs visible across a lot. Flash was more than a working tool. It was advertising. In a midway packed with barkers, with music, with bright lights, a flashboard had to compete for your attention. Many were painted with the same glossy enamels used for circus banners so that they popped under sunlight or the electric bulbs. Historians had pointed out that the circus and carnival of Midway weren't just entertainment. They were one of the first places everyday Americans saw tattooing up close. In between the barkers calling for the freak show and the rides rattling overhead, tattooists displayed their flash on boards and walls, offering designs that were quick and as eye-catching as the carnival acts themselves. That visibility turned tattooing from a hidden craft into part of the public imagination. The imagery leaned on what sold: patriotic eagles, exotic animals, portraits of beautiful women, and the circus themes that mirrored the rest of the show. Some customers were impulsive. Flash had to be clean, clear, bold, and fast to execute. Minimal shading, limited palettes, and designs that could be tattooed in under 30 minutes. What this all meant is more customers before the crowd moved on. A full wall of clean, attractive flash also proved something: that the artist was seasoned and worth trusting with your skin. The Bigtop might be gone, but its DNA runs through every flash wall you see today. Street Shop carried the carnival's display tactics straight into their storefronts. Nautical anchors, roses, tigers, pinups, designs that had to read instantly, just as they did on the Midway. Today you see that carnival spirit in tattoo conventions, with their portable boards and their racks, just like a booth on the lot. Flash days, pre-drawn sheets and rapid-fire tattooing, echoing that carnival's pace. Online flash drops, the digital Midway, where designs are flashed on Instagram and claimed in seconds. The marketing principle hasn't changed in over a century. Put the work where people can see it, make it irresistible, and they'll come. The carnival was always about attraction. That split-second pull of something you didn't know you needed to see. Tattoo Flash was born in that spirit. It had to catch your eye in a heartbeat. It had to be portable. It had to be repeatable and exciting enough to make you step closer. It still works the same way today, whether it's framed behind a glass in a shop, pinned to a convention booth, or posted to a feed. The carnival may be gone, but its impact on tattooing remains. From Betty Broadbent commanding the Midway spotlight to today's flash walls and tattoo conventions, the connection between showmanship and skin is still alive. Circus tattooing planted the seeds for how we see tattoos today: bold, public, and unforgettable. The legacy of American traditional tattooing lives in our skin and in our story. Thanks for being here.